Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the financial markets. With me, Nampija Gloria Christine and
Chiberu Victor.
And we have the latest updates from the Uganda Securities Exchange, and we would like to see how the market performed and went down the previous day.
Yes, so for today we will start with the Uganda Securities Exchange.
Exactly.
With their performance from yesterday's market. We need to understand what went on, everything that went on, the gainers, the losers, and all the percentages as you need to know.
And there has been a significant uptick considering the trading volume and the turnover. And in comparison with the previous trading day, we have a remarkable 71% improvement in volume and a staggering 37% improvement in turnover.
Absolutely.
These are substantial figures, however.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very substantial. I've been looking at them actually. It's always interesting to see how market activity can vary from one day to another.
Exactly.
And the current market capitalization of Uganda Securities Exchange stands at 16.1 trillion Ugandan shillings.
Yeah, and now looking into the equities that participated in trading, is fascinating to see that we had 3 USE listed companies in the mix.
Yes, yes, and it's worth noting that Bank of Baroda was the only gainer with 0.33% share price appreciation. But on the flip side, we have KCB Group that experienced a significant end-of-day price.
Indeed.
And it was a depreciation in this matter of fact.
Exactly. KCB Group actually came out last with a 4.82% price drop. It's always a mixed bag in the stock exchange market, and it illustrates how quickly things can turn over.
Yes, actually Bank of Baroda led in terms of trading volume, recording 417,000 traded shares. Umeme and MTN Uganda also had their fair share of trading activity.
Okay, now let's talk about the USE market indices, where we had the benchmark. The USE All Share Index also dipped by 0.67% to a close of 928.33.
That's right, Gloria. It's showing a 1-week loss of 2.1%.
Exactly.
And a 4-week loss of 3.32%. Overall, the year-to-date loss stands at 23.44%. And these indices are crucial indicators of the market's performance.
Exactly. And on the other hand, the USE Local Company Index experienced a slight increase, reaching 278.51 points. And this represents a 1-week gain of 0.03% and a 4-week gain of 2.2%.
So, Gloria, what do you make of these figures? What could be driving these changes in the Ugandan market?
Well, Victor, it's essential to consider both global and local factors. I mean, the uptick in the volume and turnover might be to renewed and confidence of specific news impacting the markets.
Exactly, that's a valid point, Gloria. Yeah. And the performance of the indices could be influenced by various economic factors, including inflation, interest rates, government policies, and many others.
Exactly. We'll keep our views and updates on the Uganda Securities Exchange, and we'll have to look at how our day will flow today.
Indeed, indeed. We'll keep our viewers updated on any significant developments.
Exactly. Now, could we move to the Nairobi Securities Exchange and study and see how the securities went down as of yesterday?
Certainly.
Exactly.
So indeed, the first weekday of trading in October has given us some noteworthy data to unpack, and let's dive right into it.
Considering yesterday from the trading day of Monday, it's evident that there have been some changes considering other days.
Yes, yes. We saw a 13% decline in trading volume and a 26% decline in turnover. These are quite significant shifts actually for just 24 hours.
And the current market capitalization of the Nairobi Securities Exchange right now stands at 1.5 billion Kenyan shillings. Is it billion?
Oh, no, it's actually
It's
trillion.
actually a trillion, yes, and it's always interesting to keep an eye out for this.
Exactly.
The market curves.
Yeah, so let's talk about the equities that participated in trading. We have the 43 NSE listed companies in the mix, and it's fascinating to see that there was an equal number of gainers and losers.
Indeed, we had Uchumi Supermarket that led the gainers with an impressive 9.52% share price appreciation, followed by Crown Paints Kenya and Trans Century and Sanlam Kenya also saw significant gains.
Like I said yesterday, actually, Uchumi Supermarket was not performing yesterday. It was actually one of the last things we talked about.
Exactly.
But today it has been the most impressive with a 9.52% increase. But on the other side, TPS, Eastern Africa, Serena experienced an end-of-day price depreciation of 9.41%. HF Group, East African Portland Cement Company, and Britam Holdings also faced losses.
You know, it's quite a diverse performance and in fact a range of performance among these equities. You know, Safaricom led the volume charts with a 9.92 million. Can you imagine?
Absolutely. Well, it's no surprise that Safaricom is a significant player in the Kenyan market.
Yeah.
Centum Investment Company, Equity Group Holdings, and KCB Group also saw substantial trading volumes.
Okay, now let's talk about the performance of the NSE market indices, looking at the benchmark of the NSE All Share Index. It had a modest climb of around, was it 0.34%?
Yes, Gloria, and while it's a positive move, we can't overlook 1 week loss of 1.23% and a 4 week loss of 2.61%. And the overall year-to-date loss of 25.05%. These figures provide valuable insights into market sentiment.
Yes, and this is a clear indicator that markets are facing challenges actually, and investors are keeping a close watch on how these indices perform.
Well, the NSE 10 share index, the NSE 20 share index, and the NSE 25 share index also had their share of movements, and albeit smaller.
Oh, really? So what do you think is driving these changes in the Kenyan market?
Well, Gloria, it is essential to consider both local and global factors. And local economic conditions are also other factors that play within a circumstance like this one.
Oh, really? I think we should really keep out a close eye on the Nairobi Securities Exchange and considering these Kenyan markets.
Yes, actually, it is a very big challenge to predict the future of the market with certainty. But however, one thing is clear, staying informed and adaptable is essential for investors in these dynamic times.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining us as we were analyzing the market performance on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. We'll go for a short break and come back with more information on the Nigerian Stock Exchange and Johannesburg Stock Exchange.
Step 1, to buy. Dial star 292 hash. Step 2, select buy. Step 3, select the product you would like to buy. For example, bonds. Step 4, select your preferred maturity year. Step 5, select the bond you would like to buy. Step 6, input an amount of 15,000 Ugandan shillings or more. Step 7, your order has been forwarded for processing. And finally, Step 8, your order has been confirmed. Smart 24, driving business.
My name is Msingu Jotham. I work as General Manager, Kayonza Growers Tea Factory. This is a smallholder tea factory presently owned by 8,000 smallholder outgrower farmers. We thank government of Uganda through UDC. They have supported Kayonza Growers Tea Factory with a tea processing line. Before government support, we are getting challenges with processing green leaf because farmers would produce more than the factory would handle. I'm glad to mention that today we are able to handle all the raw materials that come from farmers, because at first we had the 2 lines that would only be able to process 80,000 kilograms of green leaf per day. But presently, we are able to process 150 kilograms of green leaf per day. And this is because government of Uganda supported us with modern machinery. Before government intervention in our business, we are getting challenges of processing raw material. Farmers would produce more green leaf volumes than the capacity then. We are now able to handle all the green leaf volumes received from our smallholder farmers very effectively.
My name is Twinomusha Johnson. I am a tea farmer of Kayonza Growers Tea Factory. Formerly, it was run by UTGC, Uganda Tea Growers Corporation, and in 1995 it was privatized and sold to the farmers or shareholders of Kayonza Growers Tea Factory. And since then, we have been getting income from the factory through selling of our tea. And the income I get, I use it at the household level, and I also get school fees from the income from the tea. And part of the money is also used for investment, expanding the tea gardens. I have 23 acres currently, and I get between 400 kilograms to 600, and the tea is not constant because we have got a dry spell and rainy seasons, so the production varies. In the rainy season, we get a high production, and during the dry spell, we get a low production. And the company has also benefited the community or the people of Kanungu district or Kigezi at large, because it employs people in the various sections: production department, extension department, engineering department, and administration. The car factory also works with various people. We have got the stakeholders, partners. We have got people who supply items to the factory. They also get income. We have got green leaf transporters, people who go to the field to collect the tea from farmers. They also get income. We have got people who supply machinery to the company. They also get income, and very many others.
We thank the government of Uganda, we thank UDC for that support. And Kayonza has been able actually to produce the best tea in the country because of that. Allow me also to wish all Ugandans a happy Independence Day celebration as we clock 60 years.
Smart 24, driving business.
welcome back. Welcome back to our financial market show. And as we promised, we're coming back with Johannesburg and Nigeria. And let's dive into, however, the market performance on the Johannesburg Securities Exchange. It's me, Gloria, together with Victor.
Yes, that's right. We have a lot to cover as far as Johannesburg is concerned.
Exactly.
So let's jump right into it. Our top story for today is the performance of the Johannesburg Securities Exchange on Monday, October 2nd, 2020. And the Johannesburg Securities Exchange is Africa's largest stock exchange, and it plays a crucial role in South Africa's economy.
Exactly. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which was founded during the first South African gold rush in 1987, was it 1887? Yeah, has come a long way. It's often referred to as the engine room for South Africa's economy because it facilitates the rising primary capital and of listed companies, thereby contributing to job opportunities and wealth reunion in South Africa.
Exactly. And when it comes to the market capitalization, Johannesburg Securities Exchange is a heavyweight. Its current market capitalization stands at a staggering 17.3 trillion rands. That's a number that truly underscores its significance in the financial world.
Oh, really? Okay, and considering its performance on Monday, what did it have from it?
Well, no doubt about that. Well, looking at its performance of individual stocks on the Johannesburg Securities Exchange, Labet Africa led the gainers with an impressive 12.5% share price appreciation, closing at 0.09 per share rands. Following closely behind were Choppy's Enterprises at an appreciation of 10%. Copper 360 at 9.59% appreciation, and Sebata Holdings at 9.45% appreciation.
Exactly. And on the flip side, we saw notable losers on the Securities Exchange. We had Randgold, an exploration company that took the biggest hit, and with a substantial end-of-day depreciation of 16.67%, closing at 0.60 rands per share. And other significant losers were Quantum Foods Holdings with a depreciation of 15.8%, Racom and Calibre with 15.79%, and Pick and Place Stores with 14.95%.
Well, moving on to the trading volumes, Steinhoff International Holdings recorded the highest volume with 20.5 million traded shares.
Okay.
This is followed by Growth Point Properties with 13.5 million, Redefine Properties with 12.2 million, and Old Mutual with 11.9 million shares traded. And of course, we are speaking in rand.
Okay, and so now let's talk about Johannesburg's market indices. So looking at the benchmark, the all-share index, we saw a decline of 1,144.83 points. This represented a 1.58 drop in percentage, and this brought the index to a close of 71,238.06. Looking at the short-term performance, it's noteworthy that JSA has experienced around 2.94% loss over the past week.
Well, of course, zooming out a bit further, we see a 4.75% loss over the past 4 weeks. And however, the year-to-date performance of the Johannesburg Securities Exchange All-Share Index shows a loss of 2.48%.
Exactly, and this shows that it has seen its share and ups and downs recently, because the market volatility seems to be a common theme these days, you know, compared with all other securities.
Of course, and actually shifting our focus with the Nairobi Securities Exchange, it is also a significant player within Africa's financial landscape.
Okay, that's right, Victor. And when we looked at the Nairobi Securities Exchange in its own trading session on Monday, I think it performed at least better considering this.
Yes, of course. I'm seeing a little more appreciations rather than yesterday, and of which there was a lot to say about its performance from yesterday. So moving to a total of 700 shares traded in 825 deals with a market value of 62,625,346 Kenyan shillings. And however, we do see a 13% decline in trading volume and a 26% decline in turnover. And actually, this didn't change from yesterday, the 26% decline in turnover compared to the previous trading day.
And like we said about their market capitalization, when you compare the Nairobi Securities Exchange, this market capitalization of around 1.5 trillion Kenyan shillings, it's actually interesting to compare this with Johannesburg Securities Exchange.
It really is, but it's kind of an undermining position because I do believe Johannesburg Securities Exchange is kind of a big dog. You can't exactly compare it with Nairobi, but they are within the race, and we shall continue to see how they take it on. But just like Johannesburg Securities Exchange and Nairobi Securities Exchange, Nairobi had its share of gainers and losers, Uchumi Supermarket, of course, and we had an appreciation price compared from yesterday's. We have TPS Eastern Africa, and among others, we spoke about them in the first part.
Okay, thank you, Victor, for those insights. Now this drives us to Nigeria. So I would love us to look at the Nigerian Securities Exchange and see how the stock markets went down as of Monday, October.
Well, it is great to actually get to observe these markets as closely as we do, because you get to understand how so many things that we do within markets of financial instruments, among other commodities, affects all countries and all economies at large. As we have to cover for today's topic, we have the Nigerian Stock Exchange, of course, and in March of 2021, it transitioned from a member-owned, not-for-profit entity into a shareholder-owned, profit-making entity known as the Nigerian Exchange Group PLC. Okay. This move marked a significant shift in all its operations, that's for sure. Yeah, and
it's a transformation worth noting because the Nigerian Stock Exchange is now a leading integrated market infrastructure in Africa, providing cut-to access to companies and offering a wide range of regulated securities for investors. So, but let's go to the numbers, Victor. The all-share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. That has been on our radar.
Okay, well, that's right. The ASI, or can I say the all-share index, is the benchmark index that tracks the general market movement of all listed equities on the exchange. And it is interesting to note that it had a slight dip of 0.1%, which is equivalent to 66.49 points. And of course, I would want to know, Gloria, what is your take on this?
Okay, actually, this dip might seem small, but it's a 2.77% loss over the past week. However, for the year, the all-share index shows a significant gain of 29.52%. It's important for investors to keep an eye out for this, to know where you're going to put your assets, how you're going to buy your shares.
Exactly, exactly. Well, it is important. It is still among the top gainers. It is important to know that it is still among the top gainers. And we have companies like Consolidated Hallmark Insurance, Computer Warehouse Group, and Nigerian Exchange Group, all showing impressive share price appreciation. But meanwhile, the BUA Cement, Triple G and Co. and Owando were among the notable losers. And I of course want to put a highlight on them because they were the losers, the three of them, yesterday as well. So I hope it does get better for them.
You know, it's actually interesting and fascinating to see how individual stocks perform. And speaking of stocks, there are quite a few listed on the Nigerian Securities Exchange across various categories. And could you tell us more about them?
Well, certainly, Gloria. And well, the Nigerian Securities Exchange maintains three categories of listings: the premium board, the main board, and the alternative securities market, or the ASEM as they abbreviate it. These categories cater to companies of various sizes and stages of growth.
Oh, that's an important distinction, considering investors have choices when it comes to the types of companies they would want to invest in. Let's move to the trading data from the Nigerian Securities Exchange.
Well, they had a total share price. Well, the shares in total were 292,943,362 shares, and they were traded in 6,323 deals with a market value of 4,531,640,470.74 Nigerian naira. Well, this presented a 7% increase in volume and a 33% increase in turnover compared to the previous trading day. However, the number of deals, of course, declined by 7%.
You know, it's good to see how these markets are picking up in terms of volume and turnover, and the current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange stands at 36.3 trillion naira. It's actually a significant figure.
Indeed, it is. I think it's actually big because it's bigger than the Nairobi Securities Exchange in this case. But moving on to the testament size and the importance of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and the African financial landscape, we want to talk about specific stocks.
Okay.
We want to talk about the Fidelity Bank recorded, of course, it recorded a high trading volume of 48.6 million shares, followed by Universal Insurance Company, Wema Bank, and Access Holdings. These numbers give us a sense of which stocks were demanded that day.
Yeah, that's right. High trading volumes can actually indicate investor interest and sometimes serve as a barometer for market settlement. Now let's discuss the market performance of these key market prices.
Certainly. Well, the Nigerian Stock Exchange Security, well, top 50 index showed a 0.59% increase despite a 3.22% loss over the past week. And the Nigerian Exchange Bank Index, despite a 3.46% week loss, recorded a 1.4% gain that day. And these numbers really do reflect a dynamic nature of the market.
Wow, okay, so these market indices can actually provide insights into the specific sectors and trends. The Nigerian Securities Exchange has remarkable gains in the Consumer Goods Index and Oil and Gas Index over the year.
Certainly. So to summarize, we have witnessed some interesting developments in the Nigerian Nigerian Securities Exchange with fluctuations in the ASI, notable gainers and losers, and a vibrant trading day on the 29th day of September 2023.
Exactly. So investors out there, in those planning to invest in the companies in Nigeria, you should have a look out for these and keep your eye out for any interesting updates from there.
Absolutely.
So could request to Ghana and see how Ghana actually performed as of Monday, 3rd October. Was it 2nd October? Yeah.
That's right, Gloria. Well, the Ghana Securities Exchange is also a primary stock exchange in Ghana. It is located in the capital city, which is Accra, of course, and it plays a pivotal role in the country's financial landscape. It is important to understand its operations, that's for sure, because that is how you get to navigate the whole financial environment going
exactly.
on. Exactly,
and if I'm not mistaken, it normally operates from 10 to around 15.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, on every working day, and it's known for its commitment to investor protection and with measurable against insider trading and Fidelity Fund to actually compensate traders for losses during malpractice by dealing members.
Well, investor protection is a key aspect of any successful stock exchange, Gloria. And, well, getting to the numbers, the Ghana Securities Exchange Composite Index has been making headlines.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And the Ghanaian Securities Exchange is an important benchmark index for the Ghanaian stock market. It's noteworthy that it's been experienced like around a 12.17 point drop, equivalent to around 0.38% decrease. However, for the year, it still shows impressive growth of around 29.31%.
Well, yeah, that is a significant year-to-date gain, Gloria. And it is essential for investors to keep an eye on such trends.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about the top gainers and the losers on the Ghana Securities Exchange.
All right, the top list gainers, we have Asante Gold Corp, which showed a modest 0.18% 0.11% share price increase. And on the flip side, we had MTN Ghana that experienced a 0.69% drop in its share price index, making it the only loser of the day, sadly.
Interesting, interesting. It's actually very intriguing to see how individual stocks perform on the Ghana Securities Exchange. And actually, speaking of stocks, there are different categories of listings on this exchange.
Absolutely, and the Ghana Securities Exchange has two categories. On the main board, we have Ghana Alternative Market, and which has been operating on a parallel market since 2015. It's tailored for small and medium-sized enterprises with growth potential, actually.
Okay.
And it's not. Let's not forget, actually, the types of stocks listed include common stocks, preferred stocks, and exchange-traded stocks.
Oh yeah, that is great. It is great to see how the Ghana Securities Exchange offers options for companies of various sizes and stages of growth. Now, let's move to the trading summary of Monday, October 2nd, 2023.
Well, on that day, we had around a total of 4,671,214 shares that were traded. And there was a market value of around 7,573,540. And while there was a 7% decrease in volume compared with the previous trading day, there was a 6% improvement in turnover. And the current market capitalization on the Ghanaian Securities Exchange actually now stands at 74.1 trillion.
Well, it is good to see the market capitalization holding strong. Now, among the traded equities, only one gainer and one loser stood out. Asante Gold Corp gained 0.11%, while MTN Ghana faced a 0.69% decline. MTN Ghana, however, recorded the highest trading volume with 4.51 million shares.
Wow. And high trading volumes often reflect investor interest. It's interesting to see MTN Ghana leading the aspect. So could we access the market indices?
Well, absolutely, Gloria. The Ghana Securities Exchange Composite Index experienced a 0.38% decrease on October 2nd, 2023. This part of a 0.2% loss over the past week. However, for the year, it maintains a substantial gain of 29.31%. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's actually good to keep an eye out for these index movements because for making very good financial decisions. The Ghanaian Securities Exchange Financial Stock Index has also shown some positive signs.
Indeed. The Ghana Securities Exchange FSI had a 0.63% gain for the week, but it still lags behind in the year-to-date performance. And overall, it has been an eventful day for the Ghana Securities Exchange.
So please, dear investors and people out there planning to buy stocks in any company, keep an eye out for this. So that's why we heard from the Ghanaian Stock Exchange. Now that brings us to Lusaka.
Certainly. Proceeding to the Lusaka Stock Exchange, we want to give you more insights about it, and we want to give you that market watch that you seek for. So the Lusaka Securities Exchange has been a pivotal player in Zambia's financial landscape. And since establishment in 1993, it has been an interesting journey ever since.
Exactly. The Lusaka Securities Exchange was established as part of Zambia's broader economic reforms aimed at fostering a dynamic private sector to drive economic growth. It started operating in around 1994, and over the years, it has diversified its economy and financial instruments, including equities, unit trusts, and government and corporate bonds.
Exactly. Well, it is impressive how the Lusaka Securities Exchange has expanded its offerings. One notable introduction was the Lusaka Securities Exchange All-Share Index in 1997, which has since become a vital benchmark for the Zambian stock market with a base value of 100 points.
100 points, you say? Okay, that's actually impressive.
Exactly. Well, diving straight into the numbers from the Lusaka Securities Exchange, the Lusaka ASI recently saw a positive movement, gaining 30.68 points, equivalent to a 0.33% increase. This reflects the market's resilience, showing a year-to-date gain of 27.34%.
Exactly, and it's always encouraging to see how the market performs and its market performance, especially considering the economic and political changes Zambia has experienced over the years. Let's take a closer look to its top gainers and losers.
Certainly, Gloria. Among the top gainers, Zambia National Commercial Bank stands out with an impressive 1.89% increase in its share price. We have Copperbelt Energy Corporation also showed a positive movement with gaining 0.3%.
Actually, in my opinion, this shows this investor confidence.
Of course.
Exactly, and in these companies, because on the other hand, let's talk about the top movers, like Zambian National Commercial Bank led in terms of volume with around 7,457 shares that were traded. And the Zambev products followed closely with 3,109 shares that were traded.
High trading volumes often reflect investor interest and liquidity in those stocks. It is actually good to see this level of activity on the Lusaka Securities Exchange. Well, now let's turn our attention to the listed companies and their performance.
Yeah, the Lusaka Securities Exchange features a diverse range of listed companies, from Airtel Networks to Zambia's National Commercial Bank, and it's quite a spectrum of businesses.
Yes, it is worth noting that these companies are essential contributors to the operational revenues of the Lusaka Securities Exchange. Since 2009, the exchange has been relying on these listed companies for its revenue generation.
Exactly, and on that day, we had a total of around 14,440 shares that were traded with a market value of around 83,000 actually, 83,000, not million. It's interesting how to note that this data shows 63% decrease in volume and a 38% decrease in turnover compared to the previous trading day.
Yes, it is quite a significant shift in trading activity. The current market capitalization of the Lusaka Securities Exchange still stands at 83.3 billion.
Okay, and yeah, that's a substantial market capitalization, so it's really crucial for the health of the exchange actually. Among the 9 listed companies from Lusaka that participated in trading, we had 2 gainers and no losers.
Oh yeah, it is actually always positive to see more gainers than losers in the market. Zambia National Commercial Bank led the way with a 1.89% increase in its share price, and Copperbelt Energy Corporation followed closely with a 0.3% gain.
You know, you actually do realize that we have been having almost no losers when it comes to the Lusaka Securities Exchange.
Yes, certainly.
And compared to yesterday's data, we had no losers.
Of course, and it is expected because Lusaka has been depending on these particular companies since 2009 within the stock exchange, and they are the only companies developing revenue for the stock exchange. So seeing losers within their stock exchange is supposed to be very uncertain.
Exactly, and indeed these gains indicate a positive sentiment among investors. Now, wrapping it up, the Lusaka All-Share Index showed a 0.33% increase, closing at 9,343.98 points, and this reflects a 1-week gain of around 0.66% and a 4-week gain of 7.31%.
Those are for sure impressive figures, and they reflect the overall strength of the Lusaka Securities Exchange. It has been an enlightening discussion, Gloria.
Exactly, and the Lusaka Securities Exchange continues to be a vital player in Zambia's financial landscape, and it's exciting to see its growth and its diversification. Now, let's go for a short commercial break, and we'll be back with more insights concerning Apple and Microsoft and other stocks all over the world. Thank you.
Zabu allows you to buy or sell securities on the Altex exchange from anywhere in Uganda via USSD. Step 1. To buy, dial *292#. Step 2. Select buy. Step 3. Select the product you would like to buy. For example, bonds. Step 4. Select your preferred maturity year. Step 5. Select the bond you would like to buy. Step 6. Input an amount of 15,000 Ugandan shillings or more. Step 7, your order has been forwarded for processing. And finally, Step 8, your order has been confirmed.